Hello students, let us start our discussion about force. So in this video we have seen that different types of definition provided by different authors and writers in their books, and we also see that how the force can be defined by anyone, while the NCERT and also the fundamental of physics written by Holliday, Rensick and Walker does not define the term force. So how a book defines the term force and how we can understand the force? Let us start. As we know that many authors write that force as a consequence of first law of motion. It means force is a consequence of first law of motion. It means many authors write that the force is nothing but it can be defined with the help of the first law of motion. So, and many other writers write that force is defined as an external effort in the form of push or pull, which either produces or tries to produce motion in a body at rest, or stops or tries to stop a motional body, or changes or tries to change the direction of a motion of a body. And if we write the first law of motion, then the definition of the first law of motion can be written as: if the net external force on a body is zero, its acceleration is zero. Acceleration can be non-zero only if there is a net external force acting on the body. This is the statement of the first law of motion. It means when there is no external acceleration acting on any body, then the net external force acting on the body is zero. The word force has been defined in NCERT textbook nor in the fundamental of physics written by Holliday, Resnick and Walker. They only writes that a force causes the acceleration by a body. A force causes the acceleration of a body. It means force is that which can produces an acceleration in a body. And further they write, thus a force is measured by the acceleration it produces. It means the both quantity can be defined by each other. So this is not proper definition of force. So how can we understand the force? So let us see some few definitions. According to Getty's, Keller and Scow, Newton's second law provides the definition of the concept of force. A force is that which causes an object to accelerate. A single force acting alone on an object has the same direction as the acceleration, and the force magnitude is proportional to the acceleration magnitude. And McGraw-Hill Dictionary of Physics defines the force as that influence on a body which causes to accelerate. Quantitatively, it is a vector equal to the body's time rate of change of momentum. So we have seen that different authors defines the force differently. They always define the force as the net force acting on the object. It means net external force. And if you take another definition of the force, which can be taken as Chambers of Science and Technology's dictionary, so we can define the force as the best definition of the force is given by Science and Technology definition, which defines the force is that which when acting on a body which is free to move produces an acceleration in the motion of the body measured by the rate of change of momentum of body. This is the best definition of the force achieved by the authors. And what is the basic funda? Funda is that, hence you must know it consciously, that we do not know what is a force is. What we know is how a force is measured or how a force should be measured. But we do not know what exactly force is, but only know by consciously what is the force and how it can be measured. So only we know that how is measured the force and how it should be measured. Okay, so these are the basic definitions provided by some authors. Now let us come to different units and dimensions of the force. So what is the unit and dimension? So let us come to unit and dimension of force. As we know that F equal to ma. So dimension of the force can be written as dimension of the mass multiplied by the dimension of the acceleration. So dimension of mass is m and dimension of acceleration is Lt power minus 2. So dimension of force becomes mLt power minus 2. Now different units of force are dyne in CGS system, poundal in foot-pound second system, and Newton in MKS or SI system. What is one dyne? It is that force which, when act on a body of mass 1 gram, produces an acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square in it. And what is poundal? It is that force which, when act on a body of mass 1 pound and produces it of an acceleration 1 foot per second square in it. And what is 1 Newton? It is the force which, when act on a body of mass 1 kilogram, then it produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in the body. So all these are the definition and the fundamental units of the force. Some other derived unit of force is gram weight, pound weight and kilogram weight. 1 gram weight equal to 1 gram force, that is equal to 1 gram multiplied by 981 centimeter per second square, that is equal to 981 dyne. 1 pound weight and that is equal to 1 lb weight, 1 lbf equal to 1 lb multiplied by 32.2 feet per second square, that is equal to 32.2 poundals. Similarly 1 kilogram weight, 1 kg weight or 1 kgf is equal to 1 kg multiplied by 9.1 meter per second square equal to 9.1 Newton. So these are the basic fundamental units and these are the derived units of force. Now let us come to the topic, the fundamental forces in nature. As we know that there are 4 fundamental forces in nature. One is gravitational force, second is electromagnetic force, third is weak nuclear force, and last one is strong nuclear force. So what are these forces and how they work? So let us come to our topic, fundamental forces of nature. So let us discuss the fundamental forces in nature. So we found that the 4 fundamental forces in nature. First is gravitational force, second is electromagnetic force, third is weak nuclear force, and fourth is strong nuclear force. So if we compare the different properties of these forces, suppose that on the basis of range, then we will find that the range of the gravitational force acting between 2 different mass objects is infinite, and the electromagnetic force acting between 2 different charge particles is infinite. Attention please, gravitational force is acting between 2 different mass objects, while the electromagnetic force is always acting between 2 charge particles. Okay, while the weak nuclear forces acting between an elementary particle, okay, like as neutrino, antineutrino, and emission of neutrinos, antineutrinos will be explained on the basis of the weak nuclear force. And when a Bika decay occurs, then a neutrino and antineutrino will produces, and the production of the neutrino and antineutrino particle, that is a beta decay, can be explained very carefully on the basis of the weak nuclear force. The range of this weak nuclear force is 10 to power minus 15 meter, that is very small, that is 10 to power minus 15 meter, that is nuclear size. And also the strong nuclear force acting between the nucleons, that is protons and proton neutrons, neutrons, and the range of this strong nuclear force is 10 to power minus 15 meter, and this one has the largest amount of force which acting in the nature. So these are the range of the forces. If we compare the strength of these forces, then we find that if we assume that the gravitational force acting between two different mass objects of containing some charge and placed by a fixed distance is 1, then the electromagnetic force acting between these two particles will be 10 to the power 25 times larger than that of gravitational force, and the strength of the weak nuclear force will be 10 to the power 36 times stronger than that of the gravitational force, and the weak strong nuclear force will be 10 to the power 38 times that of the strength of the gravitational force. Similarly, if we reverse this comparison study, then we find out, if we assume that the strong nuclear force acting between two nucleons is 1, and then weak nuclear force acting between will be compared as 10 to the power minus 2, and the electromagnetic force becomes 10 to the power minus 13 times, and the gravitational force acting between both nucleons will be much smaller, that is 10 to the power minus 38 times. Okay, so what are the basic field particles by which the forces can act each other? So we have seen that the field particle for the gravitational force is graviton, which is a massless particle. We define all these particles in deep in our next videos, but first we know the field particle for the gravitational force is graviton, the field particle for the electromagnetic force is photons, the field particle for weak nuclear force is bosons, while the strong nuclear force contains a field particle that is known as gluons. So what are the photons, what are the bosons, what are the gluons, and how these particles produces the 4 fundamental forces in nature, we will discuss in later in our next lecture. But in mechanics we will study the two different forces, that is gravitational force and electromagnetic force, in deep. So the study of the gravitational force and electromagnetic force will be discussed in our next topic, that is known as friction. As we know that forces can be categorized in two different parts, that is one is contact force and other is non-contact force. Contact forces, like as the frictional force, restoring force produced in a spring, and some types of forces. But non-contact forces, force acting between two different magnets, force acting between two different charges, force acting by the earth on any body, all these forces are assumed as a non-contact forces. But in mechanics, in simple mechanics, we will discuss only two different forces, one gravitational force and electromagnetic force, and also a contact force that is known as friction. So we will start our next topic, friction, in next day. Thank you.